record that to the cloud, and let's go ahead and do a custom live stream to YouTube because we want everybody on YouTube to see us. So, hello everyone and welcome. This is Sean Simon's PPG Grandpa on PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast. I think that, can you see us? We should be live. We should be live. Can you guys see us? Everything good? I'm going to have to pop out our chat real quick. Pop out the chat so I can see the chat.
We're live and welcome.
We are live. I popped out the chat. I can see the chat. We got the Zoom thing going. Jim's here. Will's here. Flying Flamingo, Jade, Paramom. Man, we got the whole crew here tonight. Did you know tonight, this is November 1st. This is episode 94. We're in season 2. And just in case you did not know, we are now searchable on Amazon.com, on Amazon Music, and also on Amazon's Audible. So if you go to any of those three and type in Paramotor Podcast, holy smokes, guys, we pop up. Is that amazing or what? So big shout out to everyone out there that has found our podcast on Amazon, Amazon Music, and Audible. Thank you so very much for joining us. Tonight, we're just going to be doing an hour show. We usually go a little bit longer than that. But today we got my mom here. I hung out with my mom all day and I got to take her back home after the show. So we can't do a 4-hour show. I'll never be able to get back home. It'll be tomorrow sometime. But on our show here, just in case this is your first time here, you found us on Amazon or Amazon Music, Audible, or maybe this is the first time you search for a Paramotor Podcast. We do a live show every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern at clearproptv.com. If you want to just listen to us because you don't want to see our ugly mugs, that's no problem. You can find us on paratalk.org or search for us on your favorite podcasting app under PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast. Tonight we have Linda Anderson. She is our cheerleader. Not only is she our cheerleader, but she also is the person that you guys get up with if you want to talk with us about paramotors on our show. So you want to be a guest, you want to be on the panel, no problem, you guys. Just get up with Linda Anderson. You can find her at paramomusa.com. Welcome, Linda, to the show.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
It's always good to see you. And for the people that cannot see the podcast or listening to us right now, she has little pom-poms that she shakes and she actually cheers us on.
That's right.
So make sure you come over to the live show and check us out. So welcome very much. Welcome. Always good to have you, and we appreciate you being on the show. And you got us a couple more guests for the next couple of weeks. Who do we have on the 8th? We have Rob, and then on the 15th we have Jared. Appreciate you. Thank you for booking them.
No problem. I enjoy it.
All righty. We also have Will Fly. You can find him at willflyppg.com. He puts out some really amazing videos. If you haven't been over to his channel yet, you can find him on YouTube/willfly or willflyppg.com. Will, tell us a little bit about your channel and on all the crazy shenanigans you do.
Well, I mean, I just, I love flying paramotors and making videos about them. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. And it's amazing when I start a video, I never know how it's going to end up. It just kind of takes a life, makes a, it's a life of its own. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And if this is also your first time listening to our podcast, Linda Anderson, she does not fly, but she's our cheerleader and she's our PR girl. Will Fly. You are about 150 pounds, 175 pounds, and you start off with an Atom 80 and you went up to a Moster 185, right?
I did. Yeah, 150 pounds.
150 pounds. And you're glad that you went from a Moster 185. I mean, sorry, you're glad that you went from an Atom 80 to a Moster 185.
Absolutely. I do not regret that.
And that shows in your last video where you barely skim a power line.
the power saved the day. There's no question about that. If I didn't have that extra little oomph, it would have been a completely different video, if any.
Well, you would have had a video, but it probably would have been on Tucker Gott's crash reviews.
Yeah, probably. So I wish I would have hit the Moster a little earlier on in my flying, but hey, the Atom 80 has been a real reliable motor, and I can't say enough good things about it. It was just time for me to upgrade. My next step's going to be the Cosmos, so if I can learn to strap one of those on my back.
Wow, is that a little bit heavier? Isn't that like really heavy for a 150-pound pilot, or what?
Yeah, if not impossible.
So maybe a trike is in your future.
Hey, you never know.
Well, tonight we are going to be talking about trikes and quads, so maybe this might be the stepping stone for you. Maybe you'll hear something that somebody has to talk about, the trikes and quads, or possibly even a tandem, because hopefully Brooke is going to be on. He just did a tandem with his tandem trike, and hopefully he will be talking about that tonight. So thank you, Will, for being on the panel tonight. We'll definitely be coming back to you and chatting some more. If you don't know Flying Flamingo Jade, she is on our show tonight. She also does an all-female podcast every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern at paramotorgirl.com. Welcome, Flying Flamingo Jade.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You know, it's always good to have you on the show, and it's neat and pretty cool that you got a spin-off of this show and got your own. That's really cool.
Right. Thank you for that.
Well, you don't flip foot launch, but you do fly a trike, right?
Correct.
And you've been flying for how long now?
A little over a year and a half.
So you have a lot of experience when it comes to trikes. So you will be able to tell us about your experiences with the trike and what you think about it, right? Tonight?
Yes.
Okay, good
Try.
deal. You can try. Come on, you have your own Paramotor podcast. We also have Jim from Canada. Tell us what it's all about. Tell us about that money that smells like honey. No, it smells like maple. What's up, Jim?
Things going well today. Got to fly.
That's awesome, buddy. How many flights have you had so far?
Oh, I'd have to look that up. But
just give us a
91.
ballpark. 91. Wow, 91. That's pretty awesome. You're going to be catching up to me in no time.
I highly doubt it, but it'd be awesome.
I totally doubt it too. I'll have to go out a couple more times a day, make sure you don't catch up to me. But just so you know, you guys out there, Jim is from Canada, and he let us know on a couple of podcasts back there that there's some money in Canada that smells like maple syrup. So I know, right? There's a fun fact that you'll have to look up and see if it's true or not. So Jim, thank you very much for joining us. You also run a DIY printing shop, and that's what, carepp.com?
Yes, it is.
And what do you do for folks?
I can print pretty much anything. Signs, decals.
Wait a minute. Decals.
Stickers. Decals.
Decals, right. There's a lot of people over here to be, what the hell is a decal? Is that like a gecko? No, it's not a gecko. It's a decal. But yeah, decals. So yeah, if you want your very own stickers, maybe you do your own podcast, Flying Flamingo Jade, and you wanted to make your own stickers. Wait a minute, you make your own stickers, don't you? My goodness. Go to carepp.com. If you want to see Jim's crazy paramotor shenanigans, go to careppg.com. That's pretty cool. I love how you blended those two together. You're a smart kid. I like that. Now you just fly regular foot launch, right? You don't actually do any trikes or anything like that?
That's correct. Just foot launch.
Have you ever thought about doing a trike?
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, really? Okay, good. I can't wait to hear about that. Let's look in the chat and see who's live with us right now on clearproptv.com. We got Mark Droids, welcome. We got PPG the other neck. What's up, buddy? Will Fly is not only in the chat, but he also is here with us. Bill H, Flying Flamingo Jade, Mad Sloper, Cole Flies PPG. Well, what's up, Cole? Brian Waller from the Waller Holler,
Woo-hoo.
ppgbrian.com. I mean, there's so many different names for him, right? Hey Bale Waller. So we got Brian in the house. Welcome. Sean NASCAR. What's up, buddy? He is the kiting king, if you don't know about that.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, are you still hey Sean, are you still doing your kiting school and stuff? If you are, post that information in the chat so people can see. We got Tony Marzano. What's up? He's got a blue wrench, so watch out. He might put you in timeout if you say anything crazy. Charles Walsh is in the house. Aaron I, the PPG guy. What's up,
Hey.
guys? Very glad that you're all here. We're going to be
Yeah,
talking
thank
about
you.
trikes and quads and hopefully some tandems if Brooke gets in here and chats with us. Oh, we also got Angela Preslick. What's up? Good
Hi,
to have
Angela,
you
I love
here.
you.
Wow, we even got the captain in here from down under. Now, if you don't know, we got Walter. He's from Australia. He has a really cool Australian accent, and he's from the future because he's actually here from tomorrow. And since he's down under, he's upside down. So we have to look at him upside down, and he's in the future. That's crazy. Welcome, Walter, to the show. Glad you made it, buddy.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, I like your shirt. I like your shirt. You got a
Yeah, Paralife.
Paralife from ParalifePPG.com.
Is it the same as yours? Is it?
It is the same one. Isn't it
Wow,
awesome?
look at that.
Yeah.
Same color and all.
Walter,
No, come yesterday morning, and what time was it? Yeah, before lunch. And I thought, what the heck's this? I didn't order a bookcase.
that is so funny. So in case you guys didn't know, Walter won a lot of things from different shows over here. And what we did is we packaged it all up with a couple of our own stickers and shirts and stuff and sent it off to Walter. I had to mortgage my my home to send it to him. Please. Walter does not win anything else. He won everything. So glad that you made it. He's got a couple of flags from ClearProp TV, shirts, stickers from Resurgence PPG. If you don't know about Resurgence PPG, make sure you go to resurgenceppg.com and check them out. They help disabled veterans get into the sky.
Beautiful flag.
Oh, thank you very much. We made that specifically for you. We made it so it can fly upside down just like you in the future.
Yeah, I had to put it upside down so you can see it the right way up.
That is so funny. We also got Wiggly Wing from Quebec, Canada. What's up, A? Good to have you on the show, watching us in the
Cool.
watching us here live and in the super chat.
Linda.
Yeah, go ahead and flirt real quick.
Hi, Linda. How are you, darling?
Good, how are you, darling?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Good. You look marvelous.
You're looking pretty.
No, you are.
Oh, thank you.
Well, what about me? Don't I look pretty, damn it?
Well, not for me, you don't, but I suppose you would be.
Well, since tonight we're talking about trikes and quads and tandems, one of the cool things is that we actually have Walter that flies PPC, so he'll be able to chat with us a little bit about PPC tonight also. So everybody, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let's go ahead and start with Flying Flamingo Jade. She flies a trike. She also does a all-women's podcast every Wednesday night at paramotorgirl.com. Flying Flamingo Jade, tell us a little bit about your trike, how you got into it, and what do you think about trikes in general?
Well, starting out, I thought I was just going along to the class to take pictures and video of my husband as he was going to do the training, because I do not like roller coasters. I don't like heights. And I've got a bad knee. I need a new knee. I've had 7 knee surgeries, 2 reconstructions, and doing some kiting. The instructor talked me into at least trying the kiting. And I said, well, okay, I can work on that. Worked on that. Then I said, I don't know if I can do this. I said, I need to know if I can go up in the air, if I'm going to scream bloody murder or pass out as I leave the earth. So I did a foot launch tandem with one of the other instructors, and I loved it. I was pretty freaked out coming back down, not knowing if my knee was going to stay intact or not, but managed. Everything was fine. And but we had already ordered, I believe we ordered the trike at that point already. Maybe not, but I practiced then with the trike continuously. And like I said, I've been flying now for about a year and a half. I'm at about 115, 120 flights, and just working on getting better and better each and every time I go up.
Now, what kind of trike do you have, motor and wing?
I have a Moster 185, and I have a Mac Para Charger, and it is a 26 or 28 meter, 28 meter. And I have a trike buggy Bullet, as you can see in the background.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now in your background. For those of you that are listening to us, make sure you run over to ppggrandpa.com, iflyparamotors.com, or clearproptv.com to actually see what we're talking about. But that's a pretty nice trike. What do they usually run, like a trike in general? I mean, nothing specific, like I'm not asking you how much you paid, but in general, how much is a trike and how much is a wing? Do you have to have like a special wing for that?
No special wing, because Eric is flying his Mac Para Charger, and it is the same size as mine. And he converts that from foot launch to trike also. So he's within his weight range also.
And still wings are about 3,500-ish in general. And then a trike with a Moster 185 that's similar to yours, what does that usually run about? Is that like a $10,000 unit type of thing, or you don't know?
$8,000 for the engine and 2,500 for the trike, around there.
Okay. So is this one of the ones that you can take off the motor and still foot launch, or is this all together and it never comes apart?
No, this stays right on there.
Okay. So, and you love it, right? I mean, do you think you'd ever want a foot launch? I mean, you did do a tandem foot launch. Do you think you'd ever want to do a foot launch just solo?
Maybe, I don't know, with back problems, lower back problems and stuff like that. I think I'm fine right where I'm at. I love it. I've got it down. I got the muscle memory down of, and I'm just trying to get better every time I go up and learn more things as I'm doing that. I don't know if I really need to change anything. I'm not out there to show off or anything like that. So I'm fine right where I'm at.
Okay, well, that's awesome. I mean, I started off foot launching, and then I got the trike extension where it could bolt on to my foot launch, motor. And I've triked. I've flown other people's trikes before, and I loved it. I think that's why I got the extension on mine, so I can do both. And I love it, and I understand. If you got bad knees, bad back, there's no reason to put a heavy motor on your back. So, all right. Well, thank you very much for sharing that. Speaking about heavy motor, let's talk to Will real quick. He went from an Atom 80 to a Moster 185. There's a little bit of weight difference. But you're planning on possibly doing a trike in the future. But before we talk about the possible trike in the future, tell us a little bit about, how long you flew the Atom 80 and why you converted over to the Moster 185.
I flew the Atom 80 for, the time, I don't know. It'd be my first 300 and something flights. I was just ready for some extra power. I mean,
That's that there. It's a little dusty.
yeah. Okay, Walter. I was just ready for a change. I wanted the extra power. I was aware of the benefits and the advantages and disadvantages of each motor. And I went with the extra power, and I'm glad I did, you know. It got me out of a sticky situation with the power lines. I firmly believe that I wouldn't have had the power needed to get me over over those power lines. So it wasn't so there's the safety side of things, but the other thing is, you know, I'm not getting any younger, and it's becoming harder and harder to run a football field, you know, every time I launch on a hot summer day. And with the Atom, I was spending a lot more time on the ground, which to me is another safety factor. The more time I have contacting the ground, the more chance I have of stumbling or tripping or whatever. But I have noticed with the Moster, I spend very little time on the ground. I mean, boom, I'm in the air as soon as I start my launch.
So it's very interesting. There's a lot of people out there that are 150 pounds and they don't want to do a Moster 185 because it's too heavy, or they fear that there's too much power. But in your, I guess your time with the 80 and the 185, you think that the 85 does have more power, but it's not more dangerous like some people think?
No, and that was a question that I asked my instructor when I was getting started, because I was strongly being pushed to get the Atom 80 over the Moster. I wanted the Moster initially. And I asked him a question. I asked him that question. I said, so are you saying that I couldn't safely be trained on the Moster? And he said, no, of course not. So if I had started with the Moster, it would have been a non-event. I mean, I believe I would have, it wouldn't have been an issue. I mean, you get used to whatever you get, you know, whatever you're using after being with it for a while. So no, I mean, and it's a personal decision when it comes all down to it. If you fit within the Atom 80, whatever, your weight's right, and your health is right, and you know what you're getting into, there's no problem with it. On a wind, if I had some decent wind, man, the Atom 80 is ideal, man. I mean, it's just, you want to tool around, you want to sip gas, and you want a quieter motor, less vibration, man, it's great.
Now there's a trike extension or something that you can bolt on that Atom 80 to a little trike, right? Is that correct?
No, I don't know. Well, I mean, that would go to the frame.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you could, I'm sure could, like what Brian Waller has, the Parajet Maverick, and he's got the, what's it called? The retractor trike. So, yeah.
But he also has the 185.
He does. But interestingly enough, I can't remember who it was. They did a tandem with a Moster, or with an Atom 80. Might have been Matt Minyard. I had a video on that to see if it would do it, and it did it. You know, so yeah, it's just Nick Griffith. I see him in the chat. He's ideal for the Atom. You know, he's lightweight and
Right.
it's just perfect for him. And he bought my old motor.
Oh, he did. Well, that's good.
He bought the Parajet Maverick and the Atom. So I probably should have kept it, you know, just as a spare, but no, that's all right.
Well, real quick, just for people that are out there that maybe have not flown yet, that are considering, you know, at being 150 pounds, you know, either getting a, you know, 185 or a Atom 80 or something similar to that. What's the difference in fuel consumption as far as like a Atom 80 and a Moster 185?
I have not flown the Moster enough to really tell. I can tell you that I normally start out with 8 liters of fuel. I guess that's a lot, but when I fly, I tend to fly pretty long flights. So on average right now, I'm using about 4 liters an hour. And from what I understand, that's not bad for a Moster. I don't know. I know with the Atom 80, I would use about 3.25 to 3.5 liters an hour.
Okay, so just a little bit more. So 4 liters is about a gallon. So you're just using a little bit more. I mean, so a gallon an hour, that's really not that bad.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing, is I spend a lot more time at full throttle on the Atom, whereas with the Moster, I don't even have to launch with full throttle. So there's that. I mean, that would use more fuel. It's a give and take. It really is.
Interesting. All right. Well,
I can tell you what makes a difference with the noise, though.
Oh yeah, tell us about the noise difference.
The Bose Quiet Comfort 20 that you recommended, that noise cancellation.
Isn't that
thing,
amazing?
Man. Yeah, it's just like night and day. I mean, and you can still hear that. The neat thing is with that is you can still hear radio communication.
Absolutely.
And I can still hear my motor. I can still tell if something's not quite right, with the sound of it.
For those of you that have not heard past episodes, we'll go ahead and explain what we're talking about real quick.
We're talking about my personal transition from the Atom 80 to the Moster 185 and the advantages, disadvantages, and why I decided to make the transition.
No, I mean the Bose.
Oh, strike that last comment. The Bose Quiet Comfort is what Sean used to cancel out and make his surroundings quieter while he's flying. And basically, when I say surroundings, I mean the motor noise and even the wind noise, if you have any. It is, I think it was $250. Just basically a wired headset that it goes into your ears, plugs directly into your phone. And it fits comfortably underneath, my micro avionics headset. But you turn the switch on the noise cancellation, and dang, man, it's just night and day difference. I could even have a conversation with someone on the telephone with that.
Yeah. So for all of you out there that are trying to spend a bunch of money on noise canceling headsets, or trying to figure out some way of blocking out the noise, obviously the Atom 80 is a lot quieter. You go to the Atom 80 to the Moster 185, a lot louder. Even if you repack your silencer, the 185 is just so loud. So I've tried different noise canceling headsets, and the one that I found was that Bose that fits into your ears, that's wired, that can fit underneath your regular earmuffs. So you can get yourself a bicycle helmet, put on just regular 3M, earmuffs, get the Bose noise canceling headsets, put those in, put the muffs back on top, and there's your communication headset. So cheap, inexpensive, and better than anything that I've heard so far out there on in real life.
Yeah.
You agree, Will? That's pretty
Absolutely.
cheap.
Yeah.
Cheap.
When I first heard the price, I thought it was kind of expensive, but I tell you what, it's worth every penny. Absolutely.
It is.
Oh, well, the real reason I got it wasn't for the noise, though. Not really. I got it because I wanted to be able to hear my music clearly. Normally with my old system, my old setup, I'd have to turn the volume up to like as high as it could go, and I still couldn't really enjoy it. I mean, I could tell what was playing, but that was about it. With the Bose, I turn it up maybe half, and it's too loud.
Yeah.
So,
you can turn on whisper quiet, and it sounds amazing. Of course, because it's Bose, right? Bose just they know their stuff. And even with the loud Moster 185 with the Bose in, and listen to the music, turn on 3, and you can hear it perfectly. It's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Sean, you asked me about the liters per hour, the fuel burn. Brian Waller in the chat said 7 to 8 liters is what he burns with his Moster, and that sounds probably right, because I don't know why I'm not burning as much as I am. Maybe a new motor, maybe I'm not having to use a lot of power, but he says he's heavy on his wing, so maybe that has something to do with it, and so he's using more throttle. So do you know what you burn on your Moster?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because I've noticed that when I was heavier earlier this year, when I started off the beginning of this year, I was about 276 pounds. And recently I weighed myself, flying this last, not Fourth of July, what was it? Halloween. Sorry, I'm, we're 4th of July. No, Halloween. I just flew yesterday. And the burn rate from when I was really heavy to now, 50 pounds less basically. I normally burn one tank, which is 2.5 gallons, and it takes me an hour and 15 minutes tops, and I burnt it out, right? Yesterday I went up for over an hour, and I thought, okay, so I'm probably on almost nothing because I haven't really rechecked, this last year. And I sat down. It was almost full still. I mean, it was a little over. I mean, it was over a half a tank, but it's still. I was expecting it to be almost dry. So the weight.
Do you have a carbon fiber prop? Do you have a carbon fiber prop?
Yes, because I also have an Atom 80 that I use for my students that are, under 200 pounds, and my students that are over 200 pounds, they use the Moisture 185. The 80 has a wood prop. I want to get a carbon fiber prop for it, but because it's for students, it's easy to replace and repair wood than it is to, get another carbon fiber prop. Now, you had a carbon fiber prop on your 80, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No, well, I did until I, didn't. And I replaced it with a wood prop. So most of my flying has been done. Probably about half of my flying has been done with the wood prop.
Oh, so what was the difference between the wood prop and carbon fiber, since you know the difference?
The wood prop, it just wasn't as efficient, and the performance of the carbon fiber was better.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what I heard too.
You should be able to get better fuel efficiency too. I don't know for sure. I just did a tank on the Monster 185, and I got a 3-blade carbon fiber prop, and I've dropped a good liter per hour.
Do you get that weird harmonics with your 3-blade, that womp womp sound?
Yeah, it does kind of go louder and quieter.
Yeah, weird harmonics. That's why I don't use my 3-blade very much. I thought it was gonna be cool. Okay, get a 3-blade. Everybody else has it. A little bit more expensive, but hey, you're worth it, right? No, it has that weird womp womp womp, weird harmonics. So you heard the same thing, right, Jim?
I did hear it. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was me. Maybe it's just an old grandpa that hears things, but obviously, it's true. You get a 3-blade, and there's a weird harmonics that plays. Now, you know what, Jim? We're gonna have to do is get that 4-blade. Just another couple $100 on top of couple hundred extra bucks.
There you go. You're worth it.
I know, because you're worth it.
I just checked. My last flight was 51 minutes. I started with 8 liters, and I now have 5.25 liters.
That's really good.
It is. So, I mean, of course, the temperature's been a little bit cooler, so the engine is going to perform better. But from what I understand, that's incredibly good. And I don't know if it gets worse as the engine ages, or if that's just normal.
It's probably because you're only 150 pounds. What size wing do you have?
23.
You have a 23 wing. You're 150 pounds. And what your motor and everything is what? About how much? Another 50 pounds? 40, 50 pounds?
More than that. It would be more than that. Probably my best guess would be what, 60? I don't know how much the motor weighs.
So you're all up at about 210.
Yeah.
On a 23 wing with a Moster 185. Well, there you go. You're pretty darn efficient.
Yeah, no complaints on the fuel consumption.
No, definitely not. Well, you said that you want to get a trike. So real quick, what do you know about trikes, and what are you thinking about doing as far as getting a trike?
First of all, if I get a trike or a trike setup or the retract a trike or whatever, I'm afraid that I'm going to like it and I'm not going to want to foot launch anymore. And I love foot launching. Of course, I've never flown a trike, so I'm sure I'll love that too. But I do have a question on if they're just listening to this and someone's thinking about getting into the sport, would you say it's better for them, everything else aside, health issues, everything aside, other than just this, would you say it's better for them to start out on a trike or better to start out with foot launching?
I started off foot launch, but went to trike and love trike and bounce back and forth. When it's no wind, a trike is great in the morning. When you got some good wind and stuff, foot launch is great, or if you want to go up in thermal. So it really is, back and forth. But as far as starting off, Jade, the reason why Jade started off is because she had back and knee issues. So she doesn't want to go to foot launch. And the only foot launch that she did was with a tandem. So I don't know if that really is judgeable. Anybody in the chat say anything yet? Because I am pretty curious about what people have to say.
Yeah, leaving all the health stuff aside, I mean, money's no object. I mean, would it be better to start someone out on a trike and transition to foot launch if they were interested, or the other way around?
I think personally, because I teach both foot launch and trike, the people that trike, they still have to learn to kite, and it's really easy to kite, turn around, mash the gas, and go fly. Whereas when you're doing a trike, you don't have the opportunity of stepping left and right and correcting yourself. You have to either with the trike, you have to just use your foot to move the front wheel, or if you're a quad, you have a little bit more play, but you don't get to step back and forth like we do as far as foot launching. If health is not an issue, I would say do a couple of foot launches and then trike. I think that'd be a good transition, foot launch to trike, and probably in the same class. I think that's what Brooke was saying. Or is that what Linda was saying, as far as someone that was foot launching and then went to a trike in class? Who said that?
Well, I said that. Yeah.
Oh, you see that? Okay.
He had a student, and he had a student that started out with foot launch, and in the middle of the training transitioned to the trike because of health issues. He was a bigger guy, and right. He was in shape enough to foot launch, but the trike was a better fit for him. And he loved it. And right. It's kind of a neat comparison there, because like I said, he started out foot launch, but I saw him transition. I saw the transition from foot launch to trike. It was like nothing.
No, not really.
And he learned there's some differences, and I'm not smart enough to tell you what they are, but he was able to kite that wing all the way down the runway. And that was impressive for a new student.
Yeah, I just like to say one thing, that I went to trike because even though, excuse me, even though I was in my early 40s, I was explained to someone that I rang in America, and he said, "Do you realize your legs are the undercarriage?" And I was flying GA and realized not every landing's perfect, and I thought about it. So that's what made me build a trike. But I've also got problems with legs and back issues, and also my arms, and that's why I built something that I control with my feet to steer with in the air.
Did you actually foot launch first? Is that what you said? You tried foot launching, or you're thinking about foot launching?
No. I'd love to do it, but really the trike has been all I've ever flown apart from GA aircraft. And I think it's great. I have had a couple of incidents on my side, but that's just comes with Well, it was my own mistake, not noticing the wind change. And once you put a helmet on and you got gloves and stuff, you sort of don't feel it, and you really rely on the windsock, what it's doing at the last moment.
Right, but you don't PPG trike, you PPC. Is that
See,
correct?
Yeah.
And for those of you that do not know the difference between PPG trikes or PPC, can you quickly tell the difference to the listeners?
Yeah, basically they can be two-seaters straight off, so you can carry passengers. Mine is a lot more in detailed and have a lot more stuff in my aircraft. As far
Yours
as
is more like an aircraft. You need a license for it, correct? And a tail number?
In our country, yes, it's a registration number. And of course, it all had to be certified, passed when I finished building it before I got it in the air, and so many hours to be in the air before it's really, I think it was 30 hours, 25, 30 hours before you really signed off.
So the difference between a PPC, which is a power parachute, is that a power parachute is a certified aircraft, while PPG is under FAR 103 and it's uncertified, which could be either foot launch or trike style like the PPC.
We have both here, but again, you need to be licensed and go through training. And you do end up with three categories of your license, which is free flight, PPG, and trike. So it's not too bad, but it is a lot to take in 2 weeks.
So your training actually trains you to do free flight, PPG, and PPC?
Yes, all three.
And to do GA, which is general aviation, you'd have to have a different certification. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, the laws are all pretty well much the same, because you don't have to have radio, but most people carry radio, whether it's two-way or whether it's air radio. And we don't travel big distances, so navigation, it's a little GPS is enough to know where you're going. You can't really get lost. You can, but as long as you know your directions, that you started off in the morning or the evening, you know where to come home.
Gotcha. Absolutely. And are you under the same kind of regulations like we have over here for PPG? You can't fly during the nighttime, but you do have a half an hour before sunrise and half an hour after sunset with strobe?
Yeah, exactly the same.
Okay.
I've got landing lights and everything on mine. I've landed pretty dark into the 20 minutes after sunset, but it's not a problem. I'd love to fly at night, but yeah.
And for those of you that do not know, you actually built your own PPC yourself, correct? I mean, it wasn't a kit. You designed and built it yourself. Yeah. How long did it take for you to build it?
Well, I started with the inception that I wanted to build a trike. And a lot of them over here, they just look like a little square buggy, a triangulated buggy, and it's two-seater, and you operate it with your hands. Well, that didn't suit me because I have arm damage. And I didn't like the fact that I can do it now, but I couldn't get my arms up above my head and control the hand control. So I decided to do it foot control, which is good in a sense, because it's just like sitting up in an armchair with my hands free, and just watch the ground turning under my chair. It's absolutely beautiful through a little bit of noise through the wing. And when I shut, I can go up high and shut it off and then restart it when I get close to the ground. It's all electric start, so twin ignition, you don't have any troubles. Now, what I did want to say, you guys are all complaining about 3 or 4 litres. You want to try between 12, 14 to 18, 20 litres I can burn in an hour in my 500.
You say almost 20 hours a liter? I mean, 20 liters an hour?
Litres. Yeah. If I want to just climb up, come down, climb up, just do all that sort of stuff, I could burn 20 litres in an hour, no problem.
20 liters an hour. That's a lot.
Yeah. But then on a cruise, it's back to like 3 gallons if I want to fly cross country, which is not that bad. But your price of fuel, well, what it was a year ago would have been great.
How big is your tank, Walter?
I can take about 50 litres.
50 liters?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never really had that much in it. Well, yes, I have when I first filled it up, but I never travel with that much.
What motor?
Rotax 503, 52 horsepower.
That was kind of a question.
I should have gone for the blue motor, the 65 horsepower. Made a mistake at the time. But yeah, not to worry. It does what it does.
That's insane, said Aaron I, the PPG guy. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of gas. I mean, it's really not that expensive over here. It's just about now it's a little over $3 a gallon for non-ethanol gas, which is what I use. I know that you probably, I don't know, how much is it per liter over there right now?
Well, at the moment, especially if you want to use high octane, roughly over here, we're paying $1.60, $1.80 a litre per gas, fuel for your car. And if I want to use avgas or premium, then I'm up to probably $2 or more a litre.
And there's about 4 liters in a gallon. Little less than 4 liters in a gallon, right? 3 point something.
I think it is 4 gallons, pretty well close. Our gallon, for some reasons, a little bit bigger. It's 4.3 liters, something like that for a gallon.
That's because you're upside down and in the future,
Well, it probably takes a bit more to, fill a can upside down. You try.
I know, right?
You've got no air in it.
Jeez, that's crazy. I can't imagine spending that much money for gas and stuff.
I've got a question.
What's up, Linda?
Well, I Googled, because I'm always curious what these look like. And I Googled the Australian powered parachute. And it doesn't look like there's a safety cage on the back. Or maybe it's just a picture, Walter?
Should have.
Yeah, look on the back of Walter's.
I don't have a net, but I do have a cage.
Net. That's what I mean, a net. Yeah.
Yeah, no net, because I can't reach back that far. So,
wow. So they're all made like that? They're all made like that with no net?
Well, netting is to keep your hands from going back into the prop. He's sitting so far. He's sitting so far in front of it. He can't put his hands back there. If his hands went to the prop, he fell out of his PPC.
Yeah, well, there is things like hats, cameras, phones, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But, really speaking, I think that would just drop, fall, and it wouldn't hit the prop either.
Well, I tell you what, the next time you go fly, drop something out and see if it goes through your prop or not. Make sure you have a GoPro on. That will be going viral for sure.
Yeah.
It looks a lot, is it a lot heavier than just the regular,
Oh, yes. Yeah. With me in it, with fuel, we're looking at 900 pounds. So
Looks
that's
like
a
it's
lot of
made
weight.
more solid or something, yeah.
Yeah, well, even say Jade's machine with 2 people in it. What would you say, Jade? 500 pounds, maybe 6?
Well, under FAR 103 doing PPG, we have to be under 254 pounds, with our machine. That's not including our people. So
If you want, oh yes, that's no people. Yeah, that's with my weight and fuel. They're fully loaded.
well, if you have 50 liters, did you say 50? Do you say 50 liters or 50 gallon tank? 50-liter tank. Okay,
50 liters, yeah.
that's still a lot.
And
And
12 and a half gallons, something like that.
what size wing do you have? Do you use meter wings like we do for PPG?
Well, it measures 38 meters across. 38 feet across.
Is that how that's how you measure your
yeah,
wings? Because
well-
we use the square meters over here.
Yeah, we use square feet, which is
Okay.
500 square foot of wing.
That's weird. We use meters over here, you use feet over there. That's crazy. Another crazy thing.
I know. Certain measurements, even aviation, it's pretty well balanced around the world. Heights are in feet. Distance can be, well, really it's nautical miles, but yeah. Americans use miles per hour. We use knots per hour.
Well, for aviation, we do knots also.
Yeah, but a lot of it is spoken when you talk about planes and V&E and all that, it's always spoken in a lot in miles an hour. But it's only a conversion over. You got to work it out. That's all.
We do a lot of distance in nautical miles. And then we have also statute miles. Statute miles are like our car miles when we do 10 miles, that's our statute miles. But when we're talking about flying or distance, it's nautical miles.
We're upside down here. So we talk kilometers, which is
Right.
1.6 kilometers to every mile. So a knot is getting close to 2 kilometers per mile.
Do you know where a knot came from?
Yeah, from the ships.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? And I couldn't work it out. I thought, how can you tell how fast they're going by throwing rope out the back? But it's timing that knot. I don't know. Do you know exactly?
Well, I don't know any more than you do. That's basically it. But I think they tied knots in, on the rope every so
That's right.
often. And then depending on how many knots showed up, they could tell how
How
fast.
fast? Yeah, the releasing of that rope out the back of the boat. Yeah, it's unreal.
So next time you go fly, release that rope with knots. That way you know how many knots you're going.
Yeah, don't worry about the drop.
I've got an airspeed meter, so I can see exactly what I'm doing.
Good old iPhones with GPS. You got to love it. Do we have any questions in the chat by any chance? I haven't been looking. I've been kind of here.
I hadn't seen any. I've got something though.
Yeah.
So for someone who's never flown a trike, I can tell you, I'll give you the biggest advantage I could see and the biggest disadvantage I can see.
All right.
All right. So the biggest advantage would be much easier to launch in no wind. Now that's just me. That doesn't mean it's the biggest advantage. It's just
that is a very good advantage. Yes, I agree.
And then the biggest disadvantage would be you're more limited to where you can launch and land as opposed to foot launch.
That's true. And not only that, but as far as travel too, because you need to have either a trailer or a truck to transport your trike, unless it breaks down like mine, because it's just an extension, or possibly Waller's retractor trike. He could probably put in the back of his car too.
Do you leave the trike on your machine when you pack it up?
Me personally, no. I pack it all up because I can put it in my trunk. And Smart Car Brian, he can put all of his gear in the back of his smart car, including his paramotor. So You can really pack, a foot launch machine into very small vehicles. I've packed my stuff in the back of a Prius, and that was awesome. I could probably put the trike extension or maybe a retractor trike in there too. So it's very possible you can do a trike that can pack up, as long as it's like a foot launch slash trike, you could probably put that in the back of a car. But as far as like Jade's, how do you transport yours, Jade? You have to have a truck or
We have our camper that is a toy hauler. So that will haul Eric's trike, my trike, and then he also does foot launch if he wants to do that also. And
so you need a fifth wheel or
three story to get two.
don't listen to them, Walter. It's not
Yeah,
3 stories.
Yeah, the
trikes.
house on wheels, Walter.
I know exactly what your trailer would be like, Jade. You can fit 2 trikes in there and a powered parachute.
And 2 beds and a bathroom.
And a bathroom and toilet. And 10 blokes. And then you're still 50 feet in the air. Is that right?
Sure.
Yeah, you still have to
Otherwise,
cut
we have
down.
an enclosed trailer. I think it's what, a 12-foot trailer enclosed, and we haul the stuff that way.
Yeah, so you'd have to have, a toy hauler or a truck. I've seen people with trucks that are able to put their trike. As a matter of fact, one of the videos that Tucker Gott did, he's able to put his trike in the back of his truck. And I've seen a lot of people do that also. So
How about this was another concern, but I might have solved the problem for myself. But I've had 3 engine outs, 2 of which I've had to land in like soybean fields. And, they got the big troughs going down, whatever you call them, big rows of ditches or whatever. And then you land with the rows. Can you do that? Or I guess if you had a retractor trike, you could actually land with the retractor trike not extended.
here's something like with my trike, right? So what you could do is that you could land really close to a road, and push everything. So it's
But that's not an option. What if that's not an option and you have to land in a field?
How is that not an option? When you're flying, you make sure your glide slope can go next to a road or something.
If it was ideal, I couldn't do that where I was. I mean, I was close. I didn't have any altitude.
Oh, okay.
One of them. So I was forced to land that way.
So optimally, you'd want to land next to a road. Not optimally, I wouldn't want to land any crops or anything. I mean, did you have anything that went around your lines? Was it difficult to get out?
It was a bit of a mess with the lines, but no, they were low soybeans and they were real crispy and everything. But I know Brian's in the chat and I know he's got a retractor trike. Can you land the retractor trike just like, can you foot launch or can you land on your feet?
Yes, with mine I can come in, I can take a double wrap with my trike, come in and pull the trims all the way in, so I'm going as slow as possible. And when I come in with my double wrap, I can pull down and pretty much land right on the wheels, not even roll it, just go whoop, boop, and that's it.
That's cool.
Oh, and JP, don't worry, we're going to be killing the stream here in just a moment. We're going to be getting out of here in about 2 minutes. With mine, I can come in, I can take a double wrap. Oh, who's talking in the background?
That's you.
That was me, sorry.
Oh, no problem.
What's up, JP?
I don't know what the heck's going on with my computer, guys.
Good to hear you, so we can't see you.
With the wheels, you can still land anywhere, but I mean, I've landed in a field with saltbush, which is what the kangaroos and a lot of animals eat over here, and I parted it like Moses parted the Great Sea.
Well, you got a PPC that's really heavy and fast. We got, and we're also talking too. Now, Flying Flamingo Jade, you have just a trike. Do you think it'd be possible for you to come in and land without doing too much rolling as far as like, coming in for a landing? You think you could slow down before you got to the ground and flared really hard and, kind of just stopped or rolled maybe a couple of feet?
It depends on the winds, but I mean, I was working on spot landings this weekend, but I'm still rolling 10 feet, but I was doing, takeoffs again. But
How,
if there's
how,
a strong
would
wind,
you-
I wouldn't say that.
So you could possibly stop within 10 feet of landing someplace. So that's pretty good.
Possibly.
Okay.
Jade, could you land in a cornfield?
What?
Would you
It
be
would
able
be
to land?
fun.
You think you could land it in a cornfield?
Would I land it in a cornfield?
You could land it, but it wouldn't be optimal.
Right.
I'd be slapped around the head and the feet, I'd say.
Yeah, you know what, guys? It's like when I fly, I always fly high enough to where, if I do have a motor out, except for, maybe a couple times, I usually fly high enough when especially when I XC, if I have a motor out, I'm going to be landing really close to a road. I do not want to hump my paramotor out of a field or a mile, through brush and stuff to get to a road to be picked up. I don't want to land right next to a road. So it's already stressful enough when you have a motor out. You don't want to hump that thing for a couple miles, especially if it gets late at night, where it gets dark and stuff and you don't know where you are and your phone is out of battery juice because you've been filming and talking all the time. Oh, that'd be awful. Well, anything else that you guys have to say about trikes or quads or tandems? We didn't get Brooke on, so I guess he's still driving and wasn't able to jump on. That's too bad.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about quads. I know nothing about quads other than they look kind of cool.
Quads are pretty cool. They steer just a little bit different than a trike. It's kind of, have you ever driven just like a regular go-kart with a motor on the back type of thing, where it's just a go-kart's one of those really old ones that are just a couple wheels and you steer with your feet or steer with your little steering wheel. You steer with your feet, but that's about all you get, like you do in the go-kart. I want a go-kart. I miss a go-karts. Darn it, now I want to get a go-kart. But yeah, quads are fun. Matter of fact, a lot of the trainers around here that I talk to, they won't train people with trikes. They'll only train people with quads because it's more stable. So it's a little bit safer. I guess if you have all the money in the world, I guess quad would be the way to go. Have you ever flown a quad, Jade, or thought about flying a quad?
No, I have not. I
No?
haven't flown anything other than my trike buggy.
Okay.
And like Brian's saying that the retracted trike is like foot launch in the air. I can drop my legs down off my foot pegs too and sit, just like a foot launcher. So.
Cool. I have to say that Eric and Jade's, what is it? It's a trike buggy.
Yep.
They are the coolest looking things, man. I mean, they really are cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deweese has also got one.
Oh, does she?
Yep. She's got
Yeah,
the
hers
same
doesn't
one.
have a pink flamingo on it though.
No, but I saw her trike buggy before she even got it because Paris White came over and I saw it in my front yard before she got it.
That flamingo is from Deweese.
Well, anybody have anything to say before we head on out tonight, guys? Because I got to take my mom back to our house, and it's a 3-hour round trip.
I just want to say, shout out next Monday. We have an awesome guest coming on. He's super excited. Rob Condella from Pennsylvania will be our guest next Monday night. And He flies, looks like he flies paramotors like you guys, and he looks like he's got a lot of good stories to tell and everything. So I'm really excited about getting him on the show. He seems like he's super happy about coming on next week, and I think it'll be really fun.
Good job.
Awesome.
Nice.
Did you see John Wayne's donation? Didn't remember.
No, I did not. John Wayne, let me scroll up. There you go. Thank you very much for dropping $20 in the super chat. Definitely appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you,
Definitely
John.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, chatters. I appreciate y'all.
Looks like we got Greg Jensen in here, Deweese Milstead, Bill H., Brian Waller, Angela Presslake, Eric PPG Lear, which is ppglear.com, Mad Sloper, John Wayne, Tony Marzano, and be careful, he's got that blue wrench. He will put you in timeout. Nick Griffith, Para Ninja, Mark Droids in the house, Greg Jensen. I think I saw over here too, Mark McElroy from Paralife PPG. And just a shout out to Mark, Paralife PPG. This is a shirt that I got right now and I got from him. Go to paralifeppg.com. I'm telling you, even though I have my own merch, his shirts are absolutely amazing. So go to paralifeppg.com, check out his merch. And a little plug for my merch is iloveppg.com. Let's see, who else do we have in here? JP Tulo.
Paralife PPG, all the way to Australia, Adelaide.
There you go.
Yep.
Pretty awesome dude. I really like Mark. JP Tulo was in here just a second ago. In case you didn't know, it's his birthday. Happy birthday, yo.
Happy birthday, JP.
we would sing, but we tried to sing to my mom that one time, and it didn't work out. So
yeah, that was pretty bad.
So happy birthday, JP. I think he's 29 again, and he will always be 29. That's awesome. Brian Waller's in the house. Good to see you. Randy, Dewey's husband is in the house also. Let's see, who else do we have in here? Matt Soper said, Sean Simons, look out for those power lines. Yes, and happy birthday, JP. Tony Marzano said they make that go-kart for that 9-bot thing you have. Yes, they do for $900. I don't have that yet, but when I do, I will make I will have that go-kart, and I will put a wing above it, and I will somehow fly that go-kart from Segway 9-bot. I will do that. Will fly, right? Will fly a 9-bot PPG eventually.
I can't wait to see that video.
Oh my goodness. I thought I saw another question in the chat. I think somebody asked a question and I lost it. Is there any questions in the chat that you want answered before we go? Please put in the chat right now.
Can I just say something, guys? Sean?
Because you're in the future, yes, we already know you said it.
Yeah, look, I really appreciate what you've done for me for selling that pack out.
Oh yeah, no problem, buddy.
Australia. I know you had to hock your house and starve your kids. But yeah, thank you to everyone. Mark McElroy for his shirt. It's so soft. Jade, your shirt is absolutely rocks. The style of it, the material, it's going to feel so sexy when I put it on.
What color was yours?
Hey?
What color was your shirt that I got you?
Gray.
Gray? Okay.
I'm already hearing him say, too sexy for this shirt.
He's rubbing his chest.
I know. Too sexy for my shirt.
And Mr. Will Fly for your cup holder. Thank you, sir. Mr. Todd from Resurgence PPG with a shirt and sticker. Absolutely great shirt. Who else? Yours, Sean, and your son's Dragon Campers.
Yep, you got an official Clear Prop TV shirt that's only for the people here on our panel. So that was made
Yeah.
just for the panel, but you got one of those because you're worth it. Yes, you are.
One of the shirts I was wrapped. I think it's Dragon Campers. The material, it's another sexy type of material, not a normal t-shirt type.
I think you got one from True North Paramotors, right? True North Paramotors, and you also got a Paramotor USA.
No, I didn't get that.
Oh, you sure?
Yep,
Well,
missed the box.
I guess it slid out of the box or something.
I don't know.
Because I know that I put that in there. Oh, well.
Yeah, no, it must have fallen out on the way on the boat.
Well, whenever you get over here, I got a couple of shirts that I can get you to from Paraswag and True North, and
shirts. Is that all? Well, I thought you'd have a paramotor for me by the time I get there.
You know what? If you want to fly my Atom 80, you can do that if you want to. You're more than welcome. What?
An 80? An 80, that'll get one leg in the air.
Well, there you go. That's all you need. Get that one leg up, right? Get that leg up, and you're good to go.
No worries. I'll lose some weight before then. Thank you to everyone that contributed to that pack. It was great to get yesterday. Early morning Christmas present. Early Christmas present. So thank you, everybody. Much appreciated.
You are awesomely welcome. And I would like to, we already showed your plaque, that big wooden thing that we sent you to, right?
Yeah, yep.
And that was pretty good.
Yep. No, that was really nice. And I mean, even Jade's t-shirt packet, it's got flamingos on it. How cool is that?
Brian Waller said, "Did you check Down Under for those shirts?" Check Down Under. That's funny. Hey, I got a bail. That's Brian Haybill Waller's saying, but since he's not here, I'm going to say it. Hey, got a bail. Starting 8:11. We've been talking for an hour and 11 minutes, which is awesome. I hope you guys truly enjoyed this podcast. And like I said, we are now on Amazon Music, and Amazon's Audible. If you search for Paramotor Podcast, PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, this podcast comes up on that search. Is that freaking amazing or what? So thank you very much for all you new listeners out there that are listening to us through Amazon. Definitely appreciate that. Come and join us every Monday at ClearProp TV or this channel, iflyparamotors.com. And watch us live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And of course, on Tuesday, we have Eric or Shane doing a show on ppgshane.com or ppglear.com. We also have an all-girls podcast that we do on Wednesday. Flying Flamingo Jay hosts it. And we also post those videos here on the audio. So if you're listening to us on the audio, you get to hear those bonus episodes. Flying Flamingo Jade, since you're here, can you tell us a little bit about your show and who's on your show this Wednesday?
Sure. So this week we have a gal by the name of Gladys Lupke, and I reached out to her about 2 months ago, and she's going to tell us her story and about their big move down to Florida coming up this winter. So I'm just going to leave it at that right now.
Well, since you live in Wisconsin, maybe you need to take a trip down to Florida and do some flying over the winter time down in Florida. I would do it too. I will go down there if you go down there.
That would be awesome.
I know, right? So make sure you get up with Flying Flamingo Jade on her channel, which is paramotorgirl.com, every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Did I say those?
We had snowflakes today.
What?
Yep.
So you're going to be, now you fly in the snow with your with your trike, right?
Yes.
And you don't have any problems taking off or landing in snow?
No. Last year was our first year, and we didn't have a lot of snow, and we live on a small little 25-acre lake, and it was like glare ice. So we were able to take off and land on that. That's pretty fun landing. Because you can do a little drifting. And after we got a lot of snow, probably end of March or February, then my son went out there with his plow truck and plowed out 2 little runways for us, and we were able to do that.
Now you're able to do the same thing on the ice there, right? Because the lake's freeze. Could you take off on the lake?
Yeah, that's what I was saying is we
That is so cool.
go off right off the frozen lake. And then that's so awesome because it's right in our backyard. We don't have to drive across like 25 minutes across town to the airport that's way on the other side. I mean, 25 minutes isn't much, but packing up gear and stuff where we could just drive right up the yard and right back into the garage with everything and go right back to the warm house.
Is awesome. And there's another plus and pro for the trikes. Okay. If you go to a fly-in, 9 times out of 10, where you're parked and where you come up to that rope and go on the other side, you got to go to the other side to be able to fly into the wind. And if that's the case, all you do is you sit down in your trike, have your wing in your lap, and travel to the other side, set up, and go fly. So much easier than trying to hump your paramotor all the way across the field. Am I right? Am I right? Yes, I'm right.
Yes. Sean, while you're talking about Jade, go to Jade's site. She makes great T-shirts.
Yes, Jade. What is your merch?
TomahawkTees.com. Go to
Spell that.
It's Tomahawk TomahawkTees.com. And I've got multicolor shirts for Girls Just Want to Fly. And I just did an order of some new shirts I'll be putting on there, and just bear with me. I'm learning the GoDaddy site, trying to figure that out. And we're going to have some new merchandise on there also.
Hey, we'll put the http://www in front of that. That way it'll be clickable in the super chat there. Another thing I just saw too from your husband, Eric, over at ppglear.com. He said this Tuesday night, tomorrow, we'll be at Shane's YouTube, and you can get up with him at ppgshane.com, and he will have his show tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Sean NASCAR said, I caught the show. I'm just at the laundromat doing laundry. Well, that's cool.
Gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
And we'll just put in that Tomahawk Tees in the chat. So if you want to, make sure you go there and, check that out. We also, don't forget who else do we have? We also had Mark McElroy at paralifeppg.com. Check that out. And if you want, go over to, what's mine? iloveppg.com. iloveppg.com. Oh, by the way, I can actually pin a merchandise. Here's an I Love PPG magnet that will pin on the top of the super chat. So if you want to get a pin and help us out, every donation that we get, or every sticker or any shirt that you make, we get a little something, which helps us pay for our show. Anyways, anybody else have anything before we head on out and about?
One more thing. What's your son's name, Sean?
Cameron, and he does dragoncampers.com.
Dragon Campers, Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron. Yeah, so his name is Cameron, and he does Dragon Campers because he's a hot shot. I know, isn't that great? My son, he's a hot shot, and I can actually say that because he actually drags campers. That's why he's Dragon Campers.
Yeah.
Dragon Campers, got it. You think that somebody would have already got dragoncampers.com, but nope, we got it, damn it.
Good name. Good name.
That guy named Sean got it.
Well, being a computer engineer for 30 years before I started doing this, I got a little bit of computer background. Thank goodness, because that way I'm not that grandpa that says, "How do I work this dang nabbit thing?"
I've towed many campers, many trailers around here for my brother's business many years ago, Sean. So
Yeah, I remember you actually said that Walter was actually a guest on one of our past shows. So if you would like to, go to paratalk.org, scroll through, or your favorite podcasting app, and if you are on, Amazon or Amazon Music or Amazon's Audible, go ahead and go to PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast. Scroll back down and check out Walter's interview that we had about PPCs. It was pretty cool. Anything else before we head on out and there's something that goes on Thursdays. What is that? Paramom, do you have any idea what that is?
Paraglidingtalk.com on Thursday night with your host, Robert Michaels, the one and only awesomest son of mine.
Yeah, so Robert is your son, you are mom, and you are on our show. He's like, you traitor.
He loves it. He loves it. He's just like, that's so cool, Mom. No, he loves it.
That's good.
He knows I'm the PR here on Mondays and the PR on Thursdays. So, last Thursday, he had some things going on and all good, with the church and all that. So I jumped in and got on Facebook and said, we'll see you all next week. We don't have a show tonight, that kind of thing, because he's so busy and he's, have time, all that. And I made sure I let Sean know and everything, because that's what I do. So
right. So you must
Thursday nights, because
you must get paid a lot being a PR for two different companies. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It is fun.
PR.
I know, right? That's better than NPR.
I'll tell you though, I find him guests too sometimes. So I think sometimes he's like, Mom, that's awesome. You're so awesome. And I'm just like, I know.
Speaking about other shows, there's also the Fat Paramotor Podcast from the UK, and his name is Sean. He does a podcast. So what is the possibility of two Seans doing a paramotor podcast? And you can find him also on Amazon, Amazon Music, and Audible. So if you type in Paramotor Podcast, you get PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast and the Fat Paramotor Podcast. You get both of them.
He started in Australia flying.
Oh, did he? Sean did?
He was up in Queensland and then moved to England.
Oh, is that Fat Man flying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. That's right.
Yeah.
He has a video on how he describing how to launch a paramotor. You got to watch that. It's
pretty funny.
Yeah.
We're hopefully I was hoping that he was going to be on tonight on the panel, but he wasn't able to because he has other previous engagements, or he had to work tomorrow or something like that. But hopefully maybe on the 8th next week, he'll jump on the panel and just hang out with us a little bit in the background.
It would be like 4 o'clock in the morning for him, Sean.
Well, I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. He can get up at 4. Hey, it's all about paramotoring and Paramotor Podcast. You can
yes. Well, that's right. He's big on his side of the planet, and you're big on your side, and I'm little nothing down here, hanging on by the thread upside down.
Well, long as you're in the future and upside down, we love you. Walter, we're so happy that you're here and you joined us. I'm glad you got all of your stuff. Jim from Canada, glad that you joined us, and you got 90 some flights in. You're amazing, dude. We got Will Fly from Will Fly PPG. We're glad that you made it, buddy. Flying Flamingo, Jade, and of course our Paramotor Mom USA. Glad that you joined us. You know what? I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Soon we're going to be in season 3 on January 1st, just a couple of episodes away. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring in some past guests and probably do a big party on the 100th episode, which we are guesstimating it's going to be on
December
13th?
I put on my calendar.
December 13th. So that will be our actual 100th episode for PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast. We are rebroadcasting Shane's, possibly Eric's podcast, maybe. And if not, we're still going to be doing rebroadcasting Jade's All Girl Podcast. So thank you for sending those over to us, Jade and Shane and Eric. We appreciate you letting us rebroadcast on PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast. If that's it, we appreciate everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at ppgshane.com. He'll be doing a live show, hang out with Shane. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. Anything else before we leave?
Much love, Chatters. Thank you.
ppgshane.com.
On ppgshane.com and then
Is it?
paramotorgirl.com and all these .coms. Holy smokes. Up.
Is it ppgshane.com for tomorrow
Yeah.
night? It is.
PPG Shane.
yes, he's doing that's right.
Yeah, he's doing it once a month, and Eric's doing it the other 3 weeks. So thank you, Eric. I know that you're under the weather, buddy.
Feel better.
Hope you
Love
feel
you.
better.
Eric.
JP, happy birthday.
Happy
And
birthday, JP.
I think that's it, right? We covered all
Good night,
the
all.
we covered everybody. I
Okay.
think we did. All right, that's it. We'll see
That
you.
was great.
See you tomorrow.
Good night,
Bye.
Good night,
everybody.
all.
Night.
Bye.
Peace out. See y'all. Thank you so much.